Hey, this is Coach Mack with Authority Football. Today we're going to talk about how to throw the corner. Now, let's start with why it's called a corner. It's pretty simple and pretty self-explanatory, again, with this route. It's because the angle of the route, and I've got two of them drawn, one on the left and one on the right, they're both in blue, they're aimed at the back corner of the end zone. So if I had, an end zone drawn out there, and my goalpost was, over here, then that back corner where that pylon is right there is where that thing would be aimed at. So it makes it real simple and self-explanatory. Now, we've got two types of corners that I'm going to talk about, one on the left and one on the right, two different ways to throw it, two different positions that the receiver's coming from, and each one has a different advantage against different coverages. Let's talk about the one on the left, so ignore the right side for a minute. On the left, we're talking about the post corner, which is a great way to run the corner route against cover one, man-to-man, or if you're going to take it against cover three. Cover three means, let's put it in red here, means the corner back has deep thirds and ultimately would be guarding that route. So we want to shake him. We want to shake him off. And we do that with selling the post first from the receiver. That gets that corner who's backing out of there to bite on the post during this part of the route. And then we can snap it off right here and go ahead and take that corner. And so that leaves this guy in the dust trying to recover and get back over the top. All right, now let's talk about the footwork real quick on how we are trying to attack this. First thing, this is a 5-step intermediate route. So this is in our intermediate game. It means guys are breaking between 8 and 12 yards. It means they're running between 5 and 9 steps on the vertical part of their stem. The vertical part of the stem is this part of the route right there. Right? You can see that part of the route before they declare what the route is. This is a vertical route, means it's going to be vertical routes are posts, corners, and fades or seams. It means the arrow, right, is pointed downfield and not toward the sideline or back towards the line of scrimmage. So, which means we never want to throw late. When we throw late, the ball has to travel further and defenders can get underneath it. So that's the most important thing, and the biggest mistake I see is on vertical routes is young guys wait for him to get open and then they throw it, and by the time it gets there, he has outrun their arm, or defense has lots of time to get underneath it, which leads to the final pro tip: don't hang the ball up there on this corner route. So one of the top mistakes, number one or number two mistake I see is they see a guy that's open and they hang the ball too high, and that lets defenders recover, whether it's a safety or a corner route. So don't do that. Now, footwork. This means we are in the 5-step game from under center. We're in the 3-step game from gun. Because we don't want to throw it late, because it's a vertical, most of the time from the drop back game, we're going to throw this without a hitch. We're going to throw it on step 5 or step 3 if it's gun. We're not going to hitch up because we don't want to waste any time. Now, having said that, because we have a double move, plant number 1, plant number 2, on the post and then to the corner, we need to add a little bit of time for that to time up. So I like to throw the post corner on the left over here with a hitch. So 5-step hitch and throw, or if it's gun, 3-step hitch and throw to make that. If we wait any longer, this guy, this corner back, has time to get back over the top and make plays. We don't want to let him recover. We've beat him. We've earned the route. Let's not let him recover and get to play football. So that's the post corner. Now let's talk on the right. I love throwing the corner from an inside receiver against cover 2, right? Cover 2 means this safety over here has, this deep half of the field, and the corner has what we call the flats. And when we do that, it leaves us a big, juicy hole right here that we can hit. And the great route to hit that hole with is the corner route. And so let's talk about how to throw that corner route. So this is a straight corner, meaning it's one break. There's no post involved. It's just straight. And the receiver's trying to drive this safety back and respect the vertical here as if he was going to keep running or as if he was going to post. So we hold his threat inside, and then that allows us to have all that space out there on the right. Now, I've kind of color-coded this, the triangle out here, because what we have, draw it in green, we have a really nice forgiving area to build the ball. You see that pizza slice here. All of this area to the outside of the receiver, and I'm going to draw it this way so it's exact. All of this area to the outside of the receiver is a catchable territory. And as you see, I've kind of drawn green, yellow, red, because the closer we get down here where it's red, the closer we are to the danger zone of this corner getting underneath it. Okay, so that's a problem. The second reason it's a bad throw if it's flat over here is because the receiver when we throw balls out farther to the right, it's hard for those receivers who are on this path, it's hard for them to bend out here and go get it. They absolutely can, right? And so we want to use that triangle out there, that open area, to get, create separation and get away from that safety. But if we throw it too flat, these guys just never bend out there fast enough and hard enough to get it. So we want to keep that over here in that green and yellow area where we want to, where he can still make that play, and we can stay away from this bad guy down there, that corner. Now the other thing is, and this is a really common mistake that I see, is when we throw it inside, right? When we throw it inside, that's really, really bad because it's such a hard catch for this guy to make. And so if we're just a little bit inside of him, and because he's looking over his outside shoulder, this is where his eyes are, is to the outside. If we throw it to the inside, he's got a head whip, try to refine the ball, and you'll miss wide open guys because they're just disoriented. Plus, the safety is working in here and working over, and we don't want to get it in that area. So you almost never are going to get a deflected ball if you keep it in the good range on the outside and you keep it pretty close to the skinny, right? We want to keep it in as skinny as possible and let this guy catch it, right? So there you go. There's the corner. Great route to score touchdowns with. It's an automatic first down and completion. You hit them on time, on target, in stride, throwing as flat as possible and only as high as necessary. Those guys will score you touchdowns because guess what? Once he catches this thing right in here, draw it in blue. Once he catches this thing right in here, he's in a foot race with this guy right here. All right, and he's at speed. So you've got high completion with high scoring possibility and opportunity there. So continue to lead, continue to score. Let us know how we can help. It's Coach Mack with Authority Football. Have a good one.